Tonight, we recognize the accomplishments of a group of outstanding career and technical education students who have put forth tremendous effort and shown great aptitude in their chosen trade area. Induction into the National Technical Honor Society is one of the highest accomplishments that can be bestowed upon a career and technical education student. Having served over 1 million members since its founding in 1984, the NTHS was created to bring honor and recognition to one of the most critical segments of education, career and technical education. From celebrating these students to awarding nearly $300,000 in scholarships each year, the National Technical Honor Society believes in empowering and supporting students in their quest to master a skill and embark in a career that they love. Tonight, we invite you all to join us in celebrating these students and supporting the time-honored purposes of the National Technical Honor Society.
Thank you, Ms. Berry. The purposes of the National Technical Honor Society are to reward excellence in workforce education, to develop self-esteem, pride, and encourage students to reach for higher levels of achievement, to promote business and industry's critical workplace values, honesty, responsibility, initiative, teamwork, productivity, leadership, and citizenship, to help schools build and maintain effective partnerships with local business and industry, to champion a stronger and more positive image for workforce education in America.
All right. So I would also like to welcome our guest speaker today. We have Ms. Anya Gardner, the Dean of Continuing Education and Workforce Development at Brunswick Community College, where she was recently recognized as the 2020 Dinah E. Gore Distinguished Staff Person of the Year. She has a bachelor's degree in business administration from Gardner-Webb University. Anya is married to Brian Gardner, and they are the proud parents of Xavier, who is a golfer and journalism student at NC State University, and daughter Madison, who is a STEM early college high school sophomore at NC State University. Anya is a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority and serves on the Cape Fear Red Cross and Town Creek Vision Corporation Board. Anya believes, to whom much is given, much is required. Thank you for joining us today, and please join me in welcoming Anya Gardner.
Good evening. Thank you, Ms. Berry, for that introduction. As stated, I am Anya Gardner, the Dean of Continuing Education and Workforce Development at Brunswick Community College. For the past 14 years, I have spent my career in workforce education. So needless to say that I am passionate about workforce education. It is such an honor to celebrate with you your induction into the National Technical Honor Society tonight. For a few minutes, I want to speak with you about your excellence DNA. Do you believe that you have excellence in your DNA? Now, I had to look up the Kitty definition for DNA because I'm no rocket scientist. And it's the genetic code that determines all the characteristics of a living thing. Your DNA is what makes you, you. Now, the root word for excellence is excel. To excel means to be exceptionally good at or proficient in an activity or subject. So the E in excel is for education. Part of your DNA is excellence through knowledge and scholastic achievements. Being the best and the brightest is what each of us require of ourselves. The Bible teaches us to study to show yourself approved. So if you ever need a reminder that excellence is in your DNA, reflect on the honor of being inducted into the National Technical Honor Society tonight for your quality of work in workforce education courses. The X is for X factor. X factor is defined as a noteworthy special talent, quality, or gift, kind of like your superpower. Skill is one of the key terms highlighted during tonight's induction ceremony. Skill is the use of knowledge to develop great ability and expertise necessary to make a positive difference in a particular occupational field. So take the skills that you've learned that make you worthy of tonight's recognition and set yourself apart from others. Let the lighting of the candles be symbolic of you letting your light shine everywhere you go. The C is for courage. Courage is the ability to do something that frightens you. A few weeks ago, I had to present a virtual workshop for a conference, and I expected maybe 100 or 200 attendees. Well, 5 minutes before the presentation started, I saw the attendance balloon to 856 people. Now my heart started racing, and I started second guessing whether I could do it. I was scared. But guess what? I did it. Now ask yourself, what can you do if you're not afraid? Just because you feel fear doesn't mean that you can't do it. Do it being afraid. If it makes you feel a certain way, explore that, but be courageous. Don't let fear stand in the way of living your dreams. And encourage yourself using the profound words of rapper Bone Crusher, I ain't never scared. Now, the second E in your excellence DNA is endurance, the ability to withstand hardship or adversity, or the ability to sustain a prolonged stressful effort or activity. Now, if COVID-19 hasn't put your endurance to the test, nothing could have prepared us for a global pandemic. The world shut down, and life as we knew it changed. All outside closed, and you were forced to take courses virtually. But you did it. You pivoted, hung in there, and persevered. And here you are, being honored for staying focused and excelling in spite of the challenges faced during these unprecedented times. The L is for leadership. Leadership is the responsibility of serving as a guiding force and directing the way by going forth with courage and confidence. Now, being a leader doesn't mean you're always in charge, and you don't need a title to be a leader. There are so many qualities that make a good leader, and I just want to leave you with a few of my favorites: honesty, integrity, commitment, confidence, accountability, and passion. Congratulations, inductees. You are on your way to becoming who you've always wanted to be. As you reach higher heights, always remember that excellence is in your DNA. It's the good stuff that you're made of. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Gardner. The colors of the National Technical Honor Society are silver, white, and purple. Silver represents value and worth. White represents truth and honesty. Purple represents achievement and honor. The motto of the National Technical Honor Society is, "Success favors the prepared mind." The slogan of the National Technical Honor Society is, "Excellence in America's workforce begins with excellence in workforce education."
Thank you, Mackenzie. Dr. Carmen Sidbury is the first African-American female to earn a PhD in mechanical engineering from the Georgia Institute of Technology. She earned a Bachelor of Science and Master of Science degree in mechanical engineering from North Carolina A&T State University and has years of professional experience in technical positions at AT&T Bell Laboratories and Lucent Technologies. She has worked at several higher education institutions, including Spelman College, in roles of Associate Provost for Research, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Studies, and Founding Director of the Spelman Design and Innovation Center, Assistant Dean of Diversity in the College of Engineering at the University of Washington, Program Director for Diversity at Georgia Tech, and most recently, CE STEM Director for UNC Wilmington. She also spent 2 years at the National Science Foundation in the Division of Graduate Education as a program director for the Graduate Research Fellowship Program. Dr. Sidbury leads her company, the Sidbury Group, to work with organizations to increase research capacity and support pathways for K-12 to higher education. Now, without further ado, Dr. Carmen Sidbury.
Well, so thank you, Miss Williams, Stephanie. So it's great to be with you this evening. As I thought about what I would share with you, I found myself reflecting quite a bit about this occasion, and for me, my personal growth. So I grew up in Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. That's Stephanie and I have that in common. And I went to Dixon High School, the Mighty Mighty Bulldogs. I don't know if there are any Bulldog fans in the house tonight, but some of my fondest memories are my time I spent at Dixon, and more specifically, growing up in Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. My grandparents had a small farm, so guess how I spent many of my summers? Working on the farm. And when not working on the farm, I was heading shrimp down at the local fish house. So but I get lots of my inspiration from my grandfather. With his third grade education, he would say to us, get something in your head and nobody can take that away from you. So as Stephanie told you, I went and got all that I could get in my head. I ended up at North Carolina A&T for both my master's and my bachelor's degree, and then Georgia Tech for my PhD. And in 1995, when I was the first one to graduate from Georgia Tech as an African-American woman with a PhD in mechanical engineering, there were only 5 Black women that year that crossed the nation that received their PhD. And so what I want to say about that is not about bragging, but it's about what Ms. Garner says. I think we have it in our DNA. And in fact, I argue that the fact that we're from North Carolina, we have these superpowers. And so I think, I entered high school, or actually elementary school, back in the 60s. So yeah, despite that picture there that might have a little youthful appearance to it, I've been around a little bit. And for me, while the 60s, growing up in the 60s was a tough time, particularly in North Carolina. We were still grappling with desegregation of our schools. But I found for me in 5th grade, it was a life-changing moment for me. And it was all about my 5th grade teacher, Miss Robinson. So I tell this story often because I think, the ideal of what educators mean to us and the difference they make in our lives. And for me, Miss Robinson was my teacher person that really changed my life. She was a new teacher, actually. It was her first assignment at Dixon, and she was from Robeson County. And she had a way of just sparking a light in all of us to learn, to want to learn. And like many of my fellow students, we were from poor families by all the socioeconomic indicators that says, what the poverty rate is. But I didn't know I was poor, okay? And for us, those socioeconomic indicators didn't serve as a proxy for us for low achievement or even having high aspirations. So I'm grateful, really grateful for the fact that I started my journey in North Carolina schools, and I benefited from the compassion of my teachers and a community that poured their hopes and their dreams into me. So my introduction to engineering and STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, began for me in high school with my physics teacher, another role model for me, Mr. George Foy, who told my parents about a summer program that was being offered at Clemson University. And I got admitted into the program. And so I would spend 2 summers there. Now, mind you, back in my mind, there was also this idea that meant I would not be spending those weeks on the farm. So it was kind of exciting to be away for the summer, but it was a real pivotal moment for me to go to the program. Before going, I thought the engineer was person who drove the train. I had no idea that a career profession in engineering would be a good fit for me. So despite the fact, though, I had all this formal training, I found myself actually in 2002 without a job. It's right after 9/11 when the nation was really shook to its core, and our sense of safety and what it meant to be in America, really quite a disruptor. And many of you, probably the students here, you weren't born yet, but I will tell you it was a very challenging time. And so I found myself without a job, and I found myself really revisiting my dreams, particularly my dreams as a kid, as a young person. It's when I started my company, the Sidbury Group, that would be something that sustained me during that period. And then I found myself volunteering at Georgia Tech. I ended up giving tours and doing outreach programs with high school kids. And ultimately, I landed a job there to run a summer program for high school students who would be on the campus and work with some of the faculty there. That opportunity presented other opportunities for me to grow. And I would find myself in Seattle, Washington, of all places. Seattle, Washington, at the University of Washington, as a director and then finally as an assistant dean. And so lucky for me, though, the first summer I was there, they had a drought. So it felt like, I'm like, what is this rain stuff all about? But it was a beautiful place to be. It was an opportunity for me to get into higher ed leadership. And so, but of course, it was a long way from home. And I found myself yearning for the East Coast vibe, which the Pacific Northwest is very different than even the West Coast. It has its own kind of vibe. And I missed my North Carolina folks and Atlanta folks as well. So I ended up landing a job back in Atlanta, and then fast forward from that period, 11 years forward, and I end up at UNCW. And so it's interesting for me as I reflect about my journey, I'm back where it all began for me, back in North Carolina, and in a way, back in a place where, where it started with me for educators, I'm now having an opportunity to work in that space. And while I'm no longer at UNCW, I am part of a scholarship program, a national scholarship program, where we award scholarships and develop programs for students in engineering and computer science. And so, it's really, I tell that story, one, for you to think about, to hold fast to your dreams. And sometimes your dreams will stretch you. Sometimes they will take you far, far away from home. For the parents that may be listening in on this session, I hope that you will trust that everything that the young people we are celebrating today, they have everything that they need. And sometimes we have to trust the universe that someone will meet them just where they are. Like I've had the opportunity that so many people have met me where I was at that time and helped me to really grow into who I am still becoming, actually. And so sometimes that's Miss Williams, people like her who are leading programs like the one we're celebrating today. And sometimes it might not be who you expect. Maybe it's an urban person, a rural person. Maybe it's a man or woman, someone maybe even from a different race. And maybe it's someone just like my grandfather with his third grade education, still having the motivating factor for me to say, get something in your head and no one can take that away from you. And so I really congratulate our honorees tonight. And I hope with you we'll find some time to really celebrate this moment. You know, we've been in a kind of interesting place, a challenging place, in fact. And so taking these moments to celebrate these milestones, I'm sure for many of you, this is just the beginning of the great things that you will do. And I look forward to seeing you as you make your mark on the world. And so congratulations again for being honored tonight. And thank you for allowing me to share with you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Sidbury. In preparation for our induction and recognition ceremony, we will light the candles that represent the attributes we adhere to as members of the National Technical Honor Society. In the center of the table is a lighted candle representing knowledge. Knowledge is familiarity, awareness, or understanding gained through experience or study. This candle represents the knowledge you have gained through experience and study in your technical program.
The first member attribute is skill. Skill is the use of knowledge to develop great ability and expertness necessary to make a positive difference in a particular occupational field.
The second attribute is honesty. Honesty is the quality of being truthful, trustworthy, and fair with everyone while at work or play.
The third attribute is service. Service is giving assistance and being ready and able to provide a helpful and useful act.
The fourth attribute is responsibility. Responsibility involves the ability to act without guidance or superior authority and being answerable for your action.
The fifth member attribute is scholarship. Scholarship is the distinctive mark of one who has mastered an area of learning as reflected in the quality of his or her work, especially with the respect to scope, thoroughness, and care.
The sixth attribute is citizenship. Citizenship is being entitled with full civil rights and exercising the duties, rights, and privileges of this status.
The seventh member attribute is leadership. Leadership is the responsibility of serving as a guiding force and directing the way by
Leave
going
safe
first.
driving mode.
Fellow members, I hope you recognize these 7 attributes in yourself and value these qualities that make you eligible.
You can get something on mine. You want to try it again?
National Technical
See how you did it on it.
Says your video is stopped.
Now to induct and recognize our new National Technical Honor Society members. The following C-Tech students embody the attributes of the NTHS organization and represent excellence in career and technical education. Our first member to induct today is Layla Boynton. She is studying veterinary tech and animal science as a junior. Next, we have Clara Hicks, who is studying for athletic training. We also have Bryce Hutchison, who is currently studying construction management. We have William Jackson, who is planning to study marine technology. Then we have Gianna Melvin, who is planning to go into a nursing career once leaving C-Tech. We also have Cache Morton, who is planning to pursue a degree in nursing. We have Casey Powers, who is also planning to pursue a degree in nursing. We have Clarina Rao, who is planning to go and be a paralegal. And lastly, we have Ian Wilson, who is planning to follow a career in information technology. Thank you, and please take a moment to congratulate our students from Southeast Area Technical High School.
Thank you, Ms. Berry. The following Wilmington Early College High School students embody the attributes of the National Technical Honor Society organization and represent excellence in career and technical education. Anna Diop, who will be studying engineering. Parker DeBose, who will be studying biological and chemical technology. Jillian Dudley, who will be studying human resources. Jacob Johnson, he will be studying information technology. Jasper Stafford will be studying to become a physician assistant. And Kaylee Sasipta, who will be studying business management. Congratulations to all of our WECHS Early College High School students. Inductees, you are now members of the National Technical Honor Society. Please confirm this by unmuting your microphone and reciting your pledge of membership. I'm just going to wait until all of our new members and our current members have unmuted.
Ian, you have to read that.
Okay, together. As a member of the National Technical Honor Society, I pledge to maintain
the highest standard of personal conduct.
I will apply myself
to continue
a record
achievement, and I will strive for excellence in all aspects of my education.
I will invest my talents, my skills, and my knowledge in a career of my own choosing, and shall always endeavor to uphold my obligations as a citizen of my community and my country. I now declare you duly inducted as members of the National Technical Honor Society. Congratulations. You can now remute your microphone. On behalf of WECHS and CTEC, we would like to thank Ms. Anya Gardner, Dean of Continuing Education and Workforce Development at Brunswick Community College, and Dr. Carmen Sidbury, founder and CEO of Sidbury Group, for speaking with us tonight and sharing valuable information that gives us all insight to help in current and future goals and aspirations. We thank our principals, Ms. Wooten from WECHS, Dr. Skipper from CTEC, and Dr. Brown, Assistant Principal of WECHS and CTEC, for joining us this evening. We also thank teachers, parents, students, and peers who took the time to support our newly inducted NTHS members during this momentous occasion. And lastly, we congratulate all of you, new and current NTHS members, on your hard work and installation into the National Technology Honor Society. This is an honor that you will be able to carry with you throughout your education and career journey. Please make sure to check your email for the next steps to your NTHS journey. And again, congratulations to all of you. Welcome to the National Technical Honor Society, and to everyone, have a good night. Congratulations, guys.